I'm here today to talk about the MGB, its rivals and its legacy. It's also time to give this car a break, because I've been rude about these cars for 30 years and it's time to say sorry. Even if I don't have a beard and I don't drink real ale, I'm still allowed to like the MGB. It's time we gave the MGB a break. Without excelling in any one subject, it did everything quite well. If they'd only built 500 MGBs, not 500,000, people would be drooling over the MGB, because it's still a very pretty car. And it's the first monocoque MG. When John Thornley got the bill for the tooling on the MGB, he knew it was going to be the last MG they made, because the bill was so high, he knew they couldn't afford to do another one. But they were well made, solid cars. There's nothing wrong with them. They're compromised by the componentry that they had to use off the shelf. Front suspension off of an Austin Cambridge, and obviously it's just a push rod engine like you would get in a Morris Marina. There's a lot you can do to them to make them perform better. This one's got 130 horsepower at the back wheel, so it goes very well. It's got overdrive, so you can go down the motorway nicely in it. And they're not cheap things anymore. A chrome bumper MGB like this could be a 30 grand car today. But it was really designed as an everyman sports car the middle classes could afford. A sort of poor man's Aston Martin in a way.
Oh, hello Martin, fancy seeing you here.
Hello Ed, what's the problem?
Well, I haven't got any of my tools, I haven't got my gloves, so I can't need to catch a lift if that's all right.
Hop in.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But amazing you turning up on an MG, that's great.
You won't see it very often.
No. Well, they're very rare apparently. I love the open top thing.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really important to me, but there's just something about the MGB, I think, well, just the MG generally, it just got a little bit disappointing.
Well, like, the story finished badly, didn't it?
We were right there, being really inventive, and we always are, but somehow, either way there's the management that gets in the way, or something, but, you know, I mean, like, if you think about this car, right, when they first designed it, obviously, it was looking a little bit Aston Martin-ish, it was quite sexy, but then they thought, oh no, well, we'll extract that just before we go to sell it. And obviously, I've forgotten when quite the Rover V8, you know, was nicked out of the waste paper basket of you know, of the guys in America.
1973, which was far too late.
Right. So, but even then, you know, that would have been a great time to put that in.
Yeah.
You know, I know they did eventually, but by that time, the car had lost some of its appeal visually. So it sort of, again, it was as if it really made it, but didn't quite. The difficult thing is, for me, you know, think about the cars around at the time. The Fiat 124, the Spider. That is, you know, it used the inspiration of the MG, you know, to come into existence. So obviously the Italians are thinking, oh, we like the look of that, that's wonderful, but they did what they always do, they added their pizzazz, they added their bit of character. So right when we were kind of, you know, just drabbing it down a little bit, making it a bit more beige, the Italians come in, put their sparkle in there, and make it wonderful.
So you like 124 Spiders?
I do, I think, unfortunately, I mean, I struggle here because I want to be patriotic. On this particular case, I think really the 124 is a slightly better car. They took what MG had started and they ran with it and did a better job.
Good. So here's one I found earlier for you. I love the little Fiat 124 Spider.
That is looking very lovely. A very fine example, sir. And I don't know, would you call that Ferrari red? Or would that perhaps be Fiat red?
Let's call it Ferrari for the sake of it.
That makes it sound a bit more sporty, doesn't it?
Sounds better, yeah.
Let's get a closer look. Oh, that's great. Well, let's see, straight away, look at the nose of the Fiat. It's got so much more purpose. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the MG, but it just has, even the fact they've used hexagons, which is obviously a kind of Italian Lamborghini kind of Ferrari thing.
The way those indicator lenses are sort of flared into the body, and
like they were designed for the car,
specifically for the car, whereas they're just added on that.
But then also look, I love the back of this car. I love these corner here. It's just because it's got that slightly raised haunch there, and it kind of makes it a bit cat-like.
Yes,
it's got that sort of extra bit of energy, and I think it's just little details like that that somehow obviously they took the MG as the basis of the idea, and then they just went with it and just added the sparkle, added the excitement, and this is what we've ended up with.
Yeah, it's like going from a country pub to a Piazza Cafe, isn't it, basically?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what, I mean, interior-wise, I mean, the wood, it looks like it's been stuck on because they obviously just hide the fact there's loads of plastic in there. It looks like it might be more comfortable. I don't know.
It looks more luxurious and more inspiring somehow, doesn't it?
It does, I think, but maybe that's just because we're not used to it. Could be that, I guess. I mean, what's it like to drive?
Oh, it's fantastic to drive. You've got to drive it.
I'm going to take you up on that.
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a look. Now, the thing is, am I going to fit? There's a little bit of room. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I can just about get. Oh, there you go. I think I'm ready to rock, baby. Oh, sounds good. Oh, this is lovely. This really is quite special, actually. It's quite comfortable. I'm not worried. It's got some good grip, which is nice, and it's got a good turning circle, actually. Woohoo! And it's quite good fun to drive.
You know, it might have stick-on front indicators that look like they're off a Morris Oxford and a Morris Oxford engine, actually. You know, it gets the job done.
And it sounds great. It sounds got that Italian grooviness, and that, of course, is that twin cam thing going on there.
I'm sure you can extract a lot of power out of this B-Series engine, but it's just not as sweet as the twin cam. You can hear the way that lovely thing just buzzes. I do think it's quite pretty. It's got a lot going for it. It's a much, much cheaper car to own than the Fiat, and frankly, the Fiat's great, but find me one.
Oh, he's trying to gain on me, and that's just never going to happen.
It does go quite well. I should imagine it's pretty much as quick as that Fiat.
I think it's probably time for a little bit of play. Let's just see, maybe pit the Fiat against the MG and just see what we can come up with. See one who works best. But I do love it. It's good, and it feels dynamic in the steering.
I would say it's probably got less body roll than the Fiat, but then the ride's not as good.
Oh.
Doing a slalom.
Are we going to be a slalom, are we? A slalom. Well, I think it's about time we just see which is really the sportiest of these two vehicles. So I'm just going to pop down here. No, just stop here. I think we'll stop here. Here we go. So. Well, that was great.
You like it, do you?
Absolutely, and I think I can have you, and in fact I actually know I can have you, because to give you the full MGB experience, I've actually removed one of your HT leads.
That's not very nice, is it?
So what that means is you're going to have about 3/4 of the power or the reliability that you normally expect from an MG, which is perfect. So I think I'm going to win. But are you ready for a little bit of a drag race?
Well,
I'll try.
All right, fair enough. On 3, 2, 1, go. Now that is quite wonderful. I think I may have beaten him just a little bit. Yep, there we go. So cheating has definitely worked here. I'm sorry, that wasn't very fair, was it? I think, you know, and probably wasn't even necessary. I think the Fiat could have beaten the MG very comfortably without cheating.
Really?
Absolutely. It's actually beautiful. This is the thing, isn't it? I mean, the Brits kind of invented it.
Invented the genre.
The Italians added a bit of sparkle, and then there we are, we just got left behind, I suppose.
But the Japanese nailed it.
The Far East kind of got hold of all these great ideas. They watched us develop them, watched us make loads of mistakes, and went, you know what, we're just going to pick all the good stuff. The first MX5 was amazing. Yeah. I mean, it really was. It had all the driving experience. It was so good. Yeah. And also it's one of those things where it was good for the everyman, which is what the British sports car was all about. I mean, you know, you could have an awful lot of fun with it without getting dangerous, without getting out of control. And the thing is, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be kind of reliable. It's going to be. It's going to last. It's going to do some good miles.
It's got everything that a normal Japanese Econo box does, but it's a sports car.
Trick I'm worried about, of course, being full size, that I might not entirely fit.
A full size human.
So it's
full human.
And I'm right. Look at this. I think this is going to be the fun part. Oh man, I'll see if I can put the seat further back.
So are your feet also big?
Well, what are you saying? I have got big socks. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a go at this, actually.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's got some go, for sure. And I think that's the thing about the modern motor, of course, is obviously the precision that it's now down to. It's going to rev out more, it's going to last for many more years. You know, it's got much more grunt, it's much more efficient. Yeah. You know, so it's ticking all of those boxes.
It's sort of the perfect Lotus Elan engine, isn't it? It's like a twin cam, but it doesn't leak oil, blow up, you know.
doesn't leave water stains on your shoes.
Doesn't leave water stains on your shoes, oil grease on your hands. You don't have to drink real ale. Or even grow a beard.
What would be the drink for this? It would be probably a cocktail.
Yeah, I think this is a non-alcoholic vehicle.
Oh, well, I suppose. I mind you, most of them are these days.
Yeah, it's.
I guess that's one of the many things that's changed over the years. You know,
this is the car for the sort of middle-aged, midlife crisis man or woman.
But do you think so?
Yeah,
so
perhaps even more woman. God knows. I think most of the people who want to buy those are dead.
Oh, you're going to get letters. You are so going to get letters.
I know.
No, I think it's a very capable car. It seems to tick all the right boxes. You'll love it. It's a very lovely, smooth, kind of comfortable drive. I mean, it's got
well made, good build quality.
I mean, there's no rattles or squeaks or anything. We're going about the speed limit. Let's say that.
And it's comfortable as well.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's direct sort of steering.
But it's not so aggressive that it's going to. Because some people just get put off by things that are too responsive, don't they?
I mean, the difficulty is nowadays, of course, we're so unphysical, working away at the computer. Our noodly little arms wouldn't be enough to hold anything with any proper power steering.
There's an attraction, isn't there, though, in those older cars, and particularly the MGB. It takes you that back to having to be physical, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's a physical activity.
Well, it's especially having getting out and having to fix the engine before you get home
there's that
again.
part as well. So, yeah.
But then maybe that's somewhere where it's all missing, because I know many people who actually live for that. They live for the oily rag moment, in their daily, their weekend drive and whatever. And I think that's the thing that you don't get with this.
Yeah. What's the point of a sports car? You don't open the bonnet on.
It's perhaps too good. It's perhaps too finished.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fab. Well, I guess we should probably go and find my MG, really.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Hi. It's odd to think that the MX5 has been in production almost twice as long as the MGB and the 124 Spider. It's really an 80s reimagining of the Lotus Elan, a sports car without rust and oil leaks that you didn't drip water on your shoes. A fun car you didn't have to make allowances for. For every grease-splattered diehard muttering rice burner and Pearl Harbor in his real ale at the very idea of a Mazda sports car, there are 10,000 very happy MX5 owners with dry trousers and clean hands.